We all love a great steak. It's juicy, it's flavorful, and it makes any meal feel special. Whether it's a family gathering or a special occasion, a well-cooked steak can elevate the entire dining experience. But cooking a steak can seem scary. The fear of overcooking or undercooking can be daunting. Don't worry, I'm here to help you cook a steak you'll be proud of. With a few simple tips, you'll be on your way to steak perfection. The first step to a great steak is getting great ingredients. This means choosing the right cut and quality of meat. That means starting with a good piece of meat. Don't skimp on quality here. Look for steaks that are bright red and have a little bit of marbling. Those white lines of fat. The marbling is key. Marbling adds flavor and makes the steak juicy. The fat melts during cooking, infusing the meat with rich flavors. Next, you need some simple seasonings. You don't need to overcomplicate things. Salt and pepper are all you really need. These basic seasonings enhance the natural flavors of the meat. A little bit of garlic powder or onion powder can add some extra flavor if you like. Feel free to experiment with your favorite spices. Finally, you need the right tools. The right equipment can make all the difference. A good heavy pan or a grill are perfect for cooking steak. These tools help achieve that perfect sear. And you'll need a meat thermometer to make sure the steak is cooked perfectly. This ensures you hit the right doneness every time. Now that you have everything you need, let's get cooking. With the right ingredients, seasonings, and tools, you're ready to make a steak that will impress everyone. There are lots of different cuts of steak, each with its own unique characteristics. They all have different flavors and textures, which can make choosing the right one a bit overwhelming. Here are a few of my favorites to help you decide. Ribeye. This is a really flavorful and juicy steak known for its rich taste. It has a lot of marbling, which makes it super tender and succulent when cooked. New York strip. This steak is leaner than a ribeye, but still packs a punch in terms of flavor. It's a great choice if you want something a little bit healthier without sacrificing taste. Perfect for a balanced meal that doesn't compromise on flavor. Filet mignon. This is the most tender cut of steak, often considered the king of steaks. It's very lean, so it doesn't have as much flavor as a ribeye or a New York strip, but its tenderness is unparalleled. But it's so tender that it melts in your mouth, offering a luxurious eating experience. Sirloin. This is a good, budget-friendly option that doesn't skimp on taste. It's not as tender as some of the other cuts, but it's still flavorful and versatile for various recipes. When you're choosing a steak, look for one that's about an inch thick to ensure even cooking. This will help it cook evenly and give you the best possible texture and flavor. Now that you know what to look for, let's get cooking and enjoy a perfect steak every time. Before you start cooking your steak, there are a few things you need to do to get it ready. First, take your steak out of the fridge and let it sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes. This will help it cook more evenly. Next, pat the steak dry with some paper towels. This will help it brown nicely. Now it's time to season your steak. Sprinkle it generously with salt and pepper on both sides. You can also add other seasonings if you like garlic powder, onion powder, or paprika. Once your steak is seasoned, you're ready to start cooking. There are a few different ways to cook a steak, but my favorites are grilling and pan-searing. Each method brings out unique flavors and textures, making every bite a delightful experience. Grilling is a great way to cook a steak because it gives it a nice smoky flavor. The open flame and high heat create a beautiful char on the outside while keeping the inside juicy and tender. First, heat your grill to high heat. Make sure it's properly preheated to ensure even cooking. Put the steak on the grill and cook for 4 to 5 minutes per side for medium rare. This will give you a perfect sear and a warm red center. Use a meat thermometer to check the temperature. This is crucial to avoid overcooking or undercooking your steak. A medium rare steak should be 130 to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. This range ensures a tender and flavorful steak. If you want your steak more well done, cook it for a few minutes longer on each side. Adjust the cooking time based on your preferred level of doneness. Pan-searing is a good option if you don't have a grill or if you prefer cooking indoors. It's also perfect for those cold winter months when grilling outside isn't ideal. Heat a heavy pan over high heat. A cast iron skillet works best for an even sear. Add a little bit of oil to the pan. This helps to prevent sticking and adds a nice crust to the steak. Once the pan is hot, add the steak. You should hear a satisfying sizzle as it hits the pan. Cook for 3 to 4 minutes per side for medium rare. This will give you a beautifully seared exterior and a juicy interior. You can also add a tablespoon of butter and some herbs like thyme or rosemary to the pan during the last minute of cooking. This step infuses the steak with additional flavors. This will add flavor and make the steak extra delicious. Baste the steak with the melted butter and herbs for an even richer taste. No matter how you cook your steak, whether grilling or pan-searing, make sure to use a meat thermometer to check the temperature. This ensures your steak is cooked to perfection. A perfectly cooked steak is one of life's great pleasures, so don't guess. Take the time to cook it right and you'll be rewarded with a delicious meal. Once your steak is cooked to your liking, take it off the heat and let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes. This will allow the juices to redistribute throughout the steak, making it more tender and flavorful. Just put it on a plate and cover it loosely with some aluminum foil. Resist the urge to cut into it right away. I know it's hard, but trust me, it's worth the wait. While the steak is resting, you can make a delicious sauce to go with it. A simple pan sauce is a great option. Just pour off any excess fat from the pan, add a splash of wine or broth and bring it to a simmer. Let it reduce for a few minutes, then stir in a knob of butter. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Now it's time to eat. To slice your steak, use a sharp knife and cut against the grain. This will make it more tender. Serve your steak with your favorite sides. I love mashed potatoes, asparagus, and a simple salad. And that's it, you've just cooked the perfect steak. Cooking a great steak doesn't have to be complicated. Just remember to start with good quality meat, season it simply, and cook it to the right temperature. Let it rest, slice it against the grain, and serve it with your favorite sides. Now go forth and cook some delicious steaks.